The playoffs are officially here. Finally, let's get the play and talk out of the way. Let's talk about the playoffs. So, the Orlando Magic were the first team to make the playoffs, and now they face the Boston Celtics, our Boston Celtics. Um, and then the the Warriors beat the Grizzlies to take on the Rockets in the first round. That's going to be interesting. Obviously, with like I said, the Mavericks beat the Kings, but lost to the Grizzlies. So the Grizzlies now make the playoffs to face the Thunder. The Heat beat the Bulls, and they beat the Hawks to get into the playoffs. But that was the first. That's the first ever 10 seed to make the playoffs, and this is gonna be interesting. Very very interesting. Let's talk about the first. Which games do you guys want to talk about? What's the first game that in mind that you might want to talk about? Because the first game that tips off is the Pacers against the Bucks. Then followed by the Nuggets against the Clippers. Then we got the Knicks and the Pistons, Lakers, Timberwolves, and then tomorrow we have OKC against Memphis, Celtics, Magic, Heat, Cavs against Heat, Rockets against Warriors. Following day, we have. Hold on. Oh, that's it. That's it. Sorry. That's the order of games that's gonna go on to tomorrow. But let's talk about. I think we talk about the NBA champions first. Let's go. Let's go to the Boston Celtics. What do you guys think of this matchup? Because the Magic looked pretty good against the what you call against the Hawks, but then again they're coming up against the team that's currently won the current NBA champions, and it's gonna be a massive test for the Orlando Magic to see what the future of this team is looking like. Because I think Orlando Magic have definitely got the potential to be NBA champions in a few years. They just need to they need to sort out the injuries this season, and potentially next season they could be a third seed, fourth seed. We don't know. But let's go Celtics Magic first. What are you guys thinking about this game, and what do you think about the series? Confident, but I'm also wary of how good Orlando have been and can be. I I'm gonna back this. I'm gonna back the Celtics, obviously, but like I said, first game is gonna be a big test for both teams to see how the series might pan out. Hopefully, the Celtics will get the job done. I think they will get the job done. We've been a bit inconsistent this year compared to last year. Finished three wins behind of last season. Of last season's record. Last season we were the what do you call we were the best team in the East and the whole NBA. We dominated the NBA with the 68 with the sorry with a 64-18 record. Sorry, my bad. And we dominated the playoffs. That's how it went. We lost 3 games the entire playoffs, and we just completely dominated, and we won the championship. So that's what we have to do this year. Our title defense begins now. If we don't win the season, I hope we can at least make the Eastern Conference Finals. But I'm looking to go back to back, and I think we should be able to go back to back. I think we can.
I'm just gonna keep it very simple. I think it's just gonna be Celtics in 5. I don't think the Magic have enough to compete with Boston at this current stage. Bankero and Wagner are going to be problems, but I don't think they're going to be able to be a big enough matchup to deal with JT and JB. And then you also got Porzingis and the others and the rest. So I think it's just going to be long for the Magic. I think it's just going to be a gentleman's sweep. I don't think it's going to be an actual sweep. It's a gentleman's sweep 5, and I don't think it's going to be much. I don't think it's going to be many problems because I think the Hawks were very bad against the Magic, in my opinion, and I think the Boston Celtics have too much for them. That's it, really. I don't really see Orlando having the ability to compete on a level. I think it will just. I don't think it will be outright domination, but it'll be close enough.
So a bit like the Pacers series in the Eastern Conference Finals, where we swept them, but we scraped through games.
Yeah. But it'll be a gentleman's sweep. They'll get 1 game, but yeah, 4-1.
Hopefully, we defend home court. Then I guess that's all I hope. Hopefully, we can win all our games at home and go through. The most important thing is in the playoffs is you protect home court, And that's what I want the Celtics to do, start from game 1 and game 2, protect home court, and see where it goes. But Justin, I want to go to you next.
The reason why I chose Atlanta to beat Orlando in the play-in, stupid me. Because I don't really fear Atlanta in State Farm Arena. Akeven, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't feel confident going into Orlando. I feel confident defending home court against Orlando. I don't feel confident going on the road in Orlando.
Yeah,
because,
that's what I felt. Yeah,
because
Sorry, go
you know these past two matchups in Orlando. I don't care, back to back or not. What have we done in Orlando these past two games?
to be fair with you, this recent Orlando game, we played a complete bench team. That's not to say that we should have played our first team, because if we played our first team, I think we'd have beaten them.
Okay,
Because
we'll scrap that. When we played our starting five, what did we do?
I don't think Tatum played that game, did he?
No.
In the first Orlando game. So
No.
that was one thing. We kind of missed Tatum, but at the same time, even they missed three of their best players. We should have won that game. So that was no excuses. You are right. However, I think it was a one-off, because I think in December we were not on good. I don't think we were on a good run of form in December and January. I think we were a bit inconsistent. I think February and March where we turned up the heat. I think when the Celtics started to turn up the gas was in February, March, where the Celtics took over. Like, we went 14-1 in March for a reason, bro. We just completely turned everyone over. And
so we're undefeated against the Magic this year at TD Garden. We're just not undefeated against the Magic on their home court.
We've not won in Orlando for, I think, 2-3 years now, since 2021, 2022. I think that was the last time we won in Orlando, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and now people know why I picked Atlanta.
I don't blame you, but I still think that the last time we won in Orlando was in 2022 or 2023. I can't remember. We beat them. I remember we beat them once. So yeah, and then ever since then we've never won. We lost both games. We lost last year in Orlando, but that was the play-in tournament game or something. I can't remember what it was. And we just about lost last year. So,
look, all I'm gonna say is I think it will be Celtics in 5, but the way that we've been playing in Orlando recently, I could pretty much fear that this goes 7 in Boston. Because we're gonna win the home games, but we're probably gonna lose the road games.
I will say this though. Last year, I felt the exact same way as you, Justin. When Cleveland stole one game in Boston, I was like, we've not won in Cleveland for a very long time. It's going to be scary going to Cleveland. We ended up beating Cleveland in both games.
Yeah, we did.
We ended up beating Cleveland in both games last year. So, and I was also a bit worried about the Miami Heat game as well when we lost game 2 against them. But what did we do? We went and took the Heat. We went and took the Heat apart in both games. So all I'm gonna say is, I reckon we steal home court. I reckon we win all the games at home, and we lose one game on the road. We'll win games 1 and 2 and 3. We'll lose game 4. We'll go back game 5 and win Celtics 5. I'm gonna go Celtics in 5.
Yeah, because Miami and Cleveland woke us up, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just kind of scared of going into the road games in Orlando. I really am, but
I don't blame you.
Celtics in 5 or 7, it doesn't really matter.
Let's go with a bit of an. Actually, let's go Pacers Bucks. That's the next interesting game I think we can talk about. I'll let you have your say. You can start on this one.
I think I think the Bucks will win it in 6. I think the thing about this game is, and when it comes to the playoffs, it's all about who has the better player on the team. And for me, I think Giannis in playoff basketball is very unstoppable, and I don't think the Pacers have enough to stop him. So It's going to be a close game. It may go 6 or 7, but I think the Bucks will just have it. I think the Bucks will just have it against Indiana. I don't know. I have a feeling the Bucks will just dominate them. Dame Lillard is a big miss, but at the same time, it allows for Giannis to just play his typical style when it comes to the Bucks. Bully inside, kick out when need be, and put shooters around him. That's what That's what the Bucks have to do. Let him bully them in the paint. Stop the freight train. Try and stop the freight train, and then you can kick it out to the shooters. So if they can do that, I think Bucks in 6. But it's gonna be a close. It's gonna be a close one because Pacers are no slouch. They've got some quality guys over there. But yeah, I just think the Bucks will edge it.
I agree. I think even with Dame missing and last year with the Bucks having injuries against the Pacers, even though I still thought the Pacers would have beaten the Bucks in 6 anyways last year because the Pacers had the Bucks number last year. We'd have a rematch of last year. Yes, the Pacers finished above the Bucks, but I'm going to go Bucks in 6. I agree with you completely. I think Bucks have turned up the heat a bit in the second half of the season. I think they look a bit stronger. Giannis is looking like a different player now. He's looking like a threat now, so definitely going to be tough. Will I be surprised if this goes to 7? No, because I think there's potential Game 7 on the cards. Both of them finished 4th and 5th, just about near each other, with a very similar record. So, or almost just about the same record, almost the same. It's just 2 games off each other.
Yeah.
Will I be surprised if it goes 7? No, but I think the Bucks will go through regardless. Bucks in 6 or 7. I think Bucks in 6. I'll be honest. I think Bucks have a good shot. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers win, though. I wouldn't be surprised either way. It's
I
gonna go
don't be
6 or
surprised,
7.
but yeah, I think the Pacers have a decent chance, but I don't see the Pacers make out of the first round this year. With a lot of I think the Pacers made through the rounds because of injuries last year. They beat the Knicks in 7 because of injuries last year as well. So I think the Knicks would have made the conference finals, but regardless, I think the Pacers are going to get eliminated in the first round. No disrespect to the Pacers. I think they're a very, very good team. I like the Pacers team. Very, very young, talented team. Miles Turner, Tyrese Haliburton, Pascal Siakam. They've got a very, very good core there of players. But I just think they're very inconsistent. So I think I'm going to go Bucks in 6. I think Bucks have turned up the heat. I think they're going to win. Bucks will face. Yeah, Bucks will go through. Next, I think we'll go with we're going to go with Davion versus Donovan. Battle of the Mitchells. Cavs versus Heat. What are you saying? The Battle of the Mitchells. Davion versus Donovan.
Cavs in 4.
Or Donovan versus Davion. Yeah.
I think the Cavs are gonna. I'm gonna think the Cavs are gonna sweep them. I
agree. I think Cavs.
I don't think it's gonna be a close matchup. This one.
I think Cavs in 4 or 5. I think the Cavs might steal. I think the Heat might steal the game. Just
if Tyler Hero turns up, then yeah, maybe they get one in Miami.
Yeah. I think Tyler Hero has definitely been a massive factor for Miami Heat in the qualification for the playoffs. I think he's been their go-to guy. Him and Davion Mitchell and Bam Adebayo are the 3 go-to guys, but they need a consistent scorer, and they don't have a consistent scorer. I think size, they can definitely match the Cavs in terms of size, but I think just on offense in general, I think the Cavs have got a way better offense, and I think the Cavs got a way better defense. I think the Cavs are gonna torment them. I think Cavs in 4 or 5. Probably a sweep, I'll be honest. So yeah, Cavs go through.
Miami don't have a second option that I think is like Bam is good, but I think he may get crowded out by Evan Mobley and the bigs that Cleveland have, and then it's just gonna be if what's his name? Oh, I forgot the name.
Bam Adebayo?
No, the main Miami guy, Tyler Hero. If Tyler Hero, because he can get 30, 40 points, but at the same time, if Cleveland studied the first 2 games, which they probably would have, they say if they can get the ball off him, there's not many others that are able to create their own shots or do their own thing outside of him.
Heat fans can no longer use Jimmy Butler as an excuse anymore.
Yeah, so Cleveland in 4 or 5, but most likely 4. I think they'll sweep it.
Fair enough. I agree with you. I think Cavs are going to torment them. I'm going to go Cleveland in 4 or 5 as well. Knicks and Pistons. There might be a close game there, so maybe Heat might steal that close game. We don't know. But yeah, Knicks against Pistons. This one's a bit of an interesting one because like the Pistons are are the dark horses in the East because they've definitely had a upturn in terms of form. They were the worst team in the whole NBA last season. Complete worst. They were the worst team in the whole NBA last season, bro. They were consistently losing games. That they hadn't won a game for like what 17 games or something like that, or 27 games. I can't remember what it was, but they were terrible last year. And the Pistons are now the 6th seed in the East. They've definitely turned their fortunes around. They're a tough team to face on the glass. They're always fighting for every single ball. The Knicks are a good team as well. They've got Karl Anthony Towns, who they traded for this season from the Timberwolves. Trade away Julius Randle. They've got Jalen Brunson, who is by far their best player. Mitchell Robinson, who's come back from an injury. Josh Hart. They've got some good teams. They've got some good players, man. They got some good players. So, and they've got OG Anunoby as well. So yeah, it's gonna be tough to face It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna go with Knicks in 6. I want to know your thoughts on this one. Just give me a quick preview and we'll move on and your prediction.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Knicks starting 5 are
inexperienced Pistons team in the playoffs as well, mind you.
Yeah. The Knicks' starting 5 are better than the Pistons. I think if you go player for player against each other, the only one that may be a bit close is probably Brunson and Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
But the rest, Mikal Bridges over Tim Hardaway. I would put Josh Hart over also Thompson, even though in the future he'll be better. I'd put OG Anunoby over Tobias Harris, and Cat is over Jalen Duren. But so in terms of 5v5, I think Knicks have it. It's just what their bench will do, and I think that's probably the only thing that Knicks is going to struggle with, is if their bench is able to do a couple things as well. So it'll go to 6 or 7, because I just think the Pistons are dogs. They're defensively dogged. They're kind of getting back to that reputation of being the bad boys. So they're going to be a very rough and tough team. They're going to try and put the Knicks out of whack. And there's been a history of Cat not being able to kind of deal with that kind of pressure. So he's going to have to show up and lead that team, because he's the big signing. He's the big star. He's their fresh new signing, the big man that they've added. So he's gonna need to dominate the paint, rebounding, and Jalen Brunson's got to show up as well. So overall, I think the Knicks will still have it in 6, but I think the East, in terms of the 4th, 5th, 3rd, 6th matchups, are very, very close. And unlike the other games, these ones are closer matchups. Even though there's a slight disparity in terms of wins and losses, they're very close in terms of teams. But the Knicks just have the better star power, so I think that will just get them through.
I hear you. What do you say? Knicks in what? Knicks in
probably 6. Knicks in 6.
But who's going to win?
Maybe even 7. Actually, Knicks in 7.
Possibly. But who's going to win games 1? Celtics Magic game 1. What's your prediction for that one? I'm going Celtics.
At home, Celtics at home will win.
Celtics at home.
Yeah.
Cavs, Heat, Cavs. Obviously, we're all going Cavs.
I think the only team that might lose at home is probably the Pacers in the East. That's the only one.
Pacers, Bucks, game 1. I'm gonna go Pacers game 1 actually.
Yeah. Pacers the only one that could possibly lose at home, but the rest is gonna be easy. Pistons are gonna have to just defend home court and try and actually win game 7 in New York.
What's your prediction for game 1 though? Pacers Bucks.
I'll go with Bucks for that one.
I'll go Pacers, but so we agree on Cavs and Celtics games 1, and Knicks Pistons. I'm gonna go Knicks game 1.
Yeah.